part of the passion behind this is that you were a teacher and maybe have seen where some of the successes are on the ground personally. And is there any story, from current program success that you'd like to share?
There are many individuals who have, through Youth Build, completely changed their aspirations and then pursued this track and have achieved Associates of Arts degrees, bachelor's degrees. There are at least 4 that I've been in touch with in the last week who have master's degrees. One of them has 2 master's degrees. One of them is choosing to go on for a PhD, in the coming year. And each of them tend to have not only been attracted to the education component, but also to the leadership component. Because one aspect of Youth Build is that we encourage young people to know that everything is possible for them and that they can not only succeed individually, but that they can become leaders and change agents and a force for good to change the conditions of poverty that have been so difficult for themselves and their families and their peers. And so we do a variety of very educational things related to civic engagement and going and talking to their elected officials about the issues that affect them and creating advisory groups on issues and coming up with policy platforms, all of which tends to intensify their own motivation to be in a position where they can take on responsible professional positions and be seen as resources. So, for example, you take Antonio Ramirez. Antonio Ramirez served on our National Alumni Council. He comes from Rockford, Illinois. He had come out of a gang, had decided that he needed to change his life. We went on to get an Associate of Arts degree, and not only did he get the degree, but because he had the leadership development motivation, he ended up being the speaker at graduation. And then the next thing that happened is that he was chosen by the Chamber of Commerce as one of the 40 up-and-coming leaders under 40 in his community. And now he's planning to go on and he'll get his bachelor's degree at some point. But these things tend to work together if a young person belongs to something that they believe in. So we've created an advisory group of graduates who are now in college who are advising us on what are the kinds of supports and experiences and opportunities that will tend to both enable the young people to continue but also inspire them to stick with it through the odds. So, for example, I talked to a young man a couple of weeks ago named Calvin Cotton, who's trying to complete his BA at Morgan State, a historically black college that he's been at for a number of years because he was thrown off track by the death of his mother, the death of his father, and a terrible accident where he was hit while riding a bus. And he's had to go through all manner of struggle to stay in, but he says, I'm going to finish this because I want to come back. I want to give back to my community. I want to be a staff member at a Youth Build program, and I have to get my BA in order to do that. So, and meanwhile, there are some other Youth Build graduates on the same campus who he's in touch with, and so that tends to create a support network. There are a lot of different facets to what is it that gives a young person the determination and the vision and the support and the strength to continue and to bounce back when things go wrong. One thing that we see happening is that when our students begin to do well, they're usually the first in their family to get a high school diploma, definitely first in their family to go to college. The rest of their family begins to turn to them and ask for help from them and sometimes hang on them in ways that make it difficult. Sometimes that causes an interruption to the college path. I'm in touch with one student who is now 44 years old. He graduated from our Youth Build program when he was about 18, and he's just now getting his master's degree. He went back and he went back and he went back and he went back because because he was playing a leadership role in his community, and he was playing a parental role of enormous responsibility for his son. So it all works together, and to the extent that we can create a community that has meaning and that has a common vision of how young people can make a difference, we tend to inspire them to hang in there and complete their education.